Welcome back, friends and foes. Recently, we asked you all to share your vision for a new fighter reveal trailer, inspired by the Inklings' recent reveal for Smash Bros. On the Switch. You guys came through with a buttload of great ideas, but we ultimately had to narrow it down to the best.
Winners were chosen based on creativity, originality, and truthfulness to the character and world of Smash. That being said, here are our top 10 picks for Smash newcomer trailer ideas. Quick note. Portions of these ideas have been summarized and/or slightly revised to keep the video running smoothly. However, the ideas and flow of each trailer are true to the creators. That is all.
We open on Final Destination. It's the Mario Brothers vs. Fox and Falco. This appears to be your average gameplay footage until Luigi is knocked off stage. There is no blast zone, no visual or audio indication of death. Worried, Mario leaps off after his brother, where standard gameplay setup transitions into a more cinematic world. He lands on top of his brother, and then the two stand up, dusting themselves off. They are now in near complete darkness. Suddenly, a black text box appears ahead of them, and white words begin forming within. Mario and Luigi peer into the darkness ahead as two skeletal figures step out from the shadows.
The scene is set in a Game Boy Dreamland overworld. A 2D Kirby is seen exiting a portal, appearing flustered and beat up. He continues on to Butter Building and enters, where he encounters Mr. Shine and Mr. Bright playing cards. They immediately stop what they're doing to, quote, clobber dat dare Kirby. Kirby eventually escapes through the level's exit, whilst pursued by the others. This mysterious exit leads the three into a battle stage version of Inkopolis itself. Mr. Shine and Mr. Bright, now 3D models, are confused. A girl and boy Inkling walk up to the group. Speaking her language, Inkling Girl says, and suddenly, Abby explains that some gameplay is shown, and then we return to the scene, where Inkling Boy states, Kirby, seemingly exhausted, collapses in adorable fashion.
The trailer begins overlooking a dark forest, the Lost Woods to be exact. Link sits on a tree stump and plays his ocarina as a full concert begins building to his tune in the background. Link looks around, confused. Sebastian from Wii Music steps out from the forest and his dialogue box appears with his voice taking center. He waves his baton with gusto, launching Link away, leaving his ocarina behind.
The sun shines over a giant forest, leaves rustle in the winds, birds sing a harmonic tune, all is at peace. And then BAM! The silhouettes of two familiar figures dash through the trees. Donkey Kong carrying two giant bananas, and Diddy Kong doing his best to carry one banana in both hands. Pursuing them and their valuable fruit are two dastardly villains on dastardly vehicles. Wario on his bike, and King Dedede riding his limousine. The wild chase goes on for some time as the Kongs maneuver effortlessly through the trees. However, DK and Diddy are eventually outrun by the speeding vehicles, with Wario and Dedede stopping ahead of them to block their path. The two baddies laugh maniacally, ready to claim their yellow prizes. Suddenly, something moves through the bushes, and Wario is pulled back into the forest. Shocked, King Dedede reaches for his mallet, only to find wham! An electric guitar smacks him in the face from above, knocking him down. The two Kongs breathe a sigh of relief as their mysterious savior emerges, floating down to the ground using her hair as helicopter propellers.
Donkey Kong, Wario, and Bowser enter a classroom and stand at 3 kiosks for virtual written tests, all looking quite confident. The group looks to the front of the room where a 1-minute timer is displayed on the wall beside a glowing red light. Moments later, the light turns green, signaling the characters to begin testing. The 3 seem to be having no trouble with their tests, but as the timer counts closer to 0, we see that their test questions, mathematics to be exact, are becoming increasingly difficult. Purple fog begins to form around the timer, and the characters grow worried they may fail. The timer finally hits 0 and explodes, pushing the 3 back against the wall, purple fog now filling the room. On the kiosks, we see the words, "Test has concluded, you passed." Bowser and the others look up to find a figure stepping out from the settling fog. They have freed Dr. Kawashima, and he is now ready to join the Smash roster.
The Flaming Smash logo shimmers on the screen, just before transitioning into a familiar scene. An updated version of the original Super Smash Bros. Live-action commercial. Mario, Yoshi, Pikachu, and Donkey Kong skip through the meadow until their whimsical delight is interrupted by a voice shouting through a megaphone.
Hey, plumber boy, mustache man, your worst nightmare has arrived.
The camera pans to reveal that the culprit is none other than Crash Bandicoot.
Pack up your stuff. I got a little surprise for you here.
We then see a 30-second gameplay montage of Crash Bandicoot wailing on the classic video game characters in Smash like Mario, Sonic, Pac-Man, and Mega Man. Afterward, we cut back to the live-action world, Mario and Crash sitting down playing the Switch together as the sun sets. Crash says, "I guess Super Mario 64 was kind of okay," and Mario turns to pat him on the shoulder.
We open on a bright jungle scene. Wario peers through the brush, holding a map that leads to a mysterious treasure. He peers up at a tall tower ahead of him, a light illuminating from something at the top. Wario eagerly makes his way up the spiraling stairs. Reaching the top, he finds the cause of the glow. It's a power cell. He reaches out for it, greed in his eyes, when suddenly another hand snatches the power cell before he can. As he stashes the valuable away, the mysterious figure is revealed to be Jak, alongside his close pal Daxter. The two congratulate themselves, but Wario is enraged. He attacks the two friends, knocking them backwards into some eco-particles. He moves forward to reclaim his treasure. However, Jak stands, glaring at Wario with smoldering eyes, a yellow aura now surrounding him. Daxter shakes his head and says, "You shouldn't have done that, buddy."
Funky jazz music can be heard from a radio bouncing in the background. Ahead we see a wall with a painting and an outlet with something plugged in, hidden around the corner. As the camera slowly zooms in on the outlet, the music fades. The room grows quiet, and a familiar is heard as a small metallic figure appears, jogging around the corner. The other end of the plug is attached to his back by a cord. The figure, with his back to the camera, pulls the plug out of the wall and places it on top of his head. He then proceeds to run out of frame. The camera follows the little guy as he struggles to climb on top of a stack of books, attempting to reach the arm of a couch. He reaches the top and is seen pulling out binoculars. We see from his perspective a chaotic battle between a couple Nintendo icons, fighting on the tabletop. They realize they're being watched, and stop to stare at the onlooker. The jazz music starts up again as the little guy lowers his binoculars, and the splash screen hits him from the side. Chibi Robo is seen falling off the couch before the trailer cuts to gameplay footage.
After being hit with a potted plant, Heroine takes her battle stance as the splash art swoops in.
Light music plays as some of Nintendo's most iconic characters are seen preparing a meal. Link peels potatoes with his sword, Mario heats the stove with a fire flower, and so on. However, things quickly turn sour as these characters soon realize cooking is quite difficult. Smoke begins to rise from the stove, and the characters desperately attempt to put it out. And then suddenly, the fire bursts! Mario and the others try anything to quench the intense flames, from slashing their swords at it to using Toad as a fan. But it's no use. An explosion bursts in the kitchen. The characters are knocked back. Smoke fills the kitchen as the characters get to their feet, looking on in dismay. And then they see someone, a figure emerging from the smoke. The mysterious character steps forward from the haze. It is a woman, with flames in her eyes, and a wide smile teetering on the brink of rage. She speaks her infamous line. And then she rolls up her sleeves and mercilessly knocks everyone out of the kitchen.
Congratulations to the top 10 winners, and now here are the top 10 honorable mentions. We'd also like to give a special shout out to those of you who didn't quite make the cut but took the time to create some great artwork for your entries. We really appreciate your creativity, guys. It did not go unnoticed.
And with that, thank you for watching. Don't forget to check out our part 1 of this contest where we showcase your ideas for new Smash story and game modes. Also, if you haven't heard, we now have a film channel. The link to Erickson Cinematics is in the description. We'd love for you to check it out and share the news with your movie-loving friends.
And if you haven't already, do us a kindness and subscribe to Erickson Gaming, your new destination for more contests like this one, as well as discussions, comedic videos, live streaming, and much more video game content. This has been Andres and James Erickson. Sayonara, boys and girls.